Hello everyone, and welcome to our backyard. I wanted to share with you today about one plant in particular that's a summer plant, and that is Tithonia. And you might think, why share a summer plant? It is November. And down here south of Houston in Texas along the Gulf Coast, we can have pretty warm summers. So this week it's been in the 80s, and I wanted to share this with you because it was a mistake that I made. So let me show you this gorgeous flower. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen this. These are favorites, absolute favorites of butterflies. Of course, pollinators love these, all different kinds of pollinators, but in particular butterflies. And the reason is this flower is like a landing pad for them to land on. And these have been blooming, golly, for a little bit over a week. And they've been volunteers. So I kind of want to share with you the seed packet, if you will. I got these from Johnny's. I ordered a little bit too much here. But this is Mexican sunflower known as Tithonia or Tithonia rotundifolia. And it is just a gorgeous annual. And it truly is an annual. So I've got a queen butterfly here coming in. This is a queen, and let's see if it opens its, didn't get to see if it was a male or a female. But let me show you the back side of the packet. And it's very tall. So in the summer, for me, these grew to about 7.5 to 8 feet tall, which was insane. But what I have found down here in our Zone 9A climate along the Gulf Coast is anytime something gives a recommended height and width, we usually go taller and longer. So I certainly need to put this in the back of a bed because it gets so tall. And I actually started it indoors and before our last frost in the spring. And you'll see that they recommend that you direct seed this if at all possible. It shows the soil temperatures there should be between 70 and 85. And light is what helps germination, so it says barely cover the seeds. And I can tell you, these just got blown over here. These plants, 1, 2, 3, 4, I've got 4 volunteers in this bed. And, the seed was just blown in from probably, late July, early August for the Tithonia that I had, and I actually had planted it in this bed. And so before the passion vine really took off, I had Tithonia all along this end. And like I said, it is a true annual. And it, in fact, I didn't cut it down all the way. I left some of it up for structure. And so that is one of my Tithonia plants from this summer. And so they grow, produce gorgeous blooms, seed, and then die back. And that is a true annual. So what I did wrong is I should have had succession planting because we have butterflies that fly here almost all year round. So I'm going to show you the packet again. And you'll notice that it takes 7 to 14 days to germinate at that temperature, at that soil temperature. And they do need good drainage. And they say to space 12 to 24 inches apart. And I highly recommend that because they get absolutely huge. If you do harvest them for cut flowers, they do last. And as you can see here, you can stand them deep in warm water for several hours. So interestingly enough, I do not, because they are butterfly favorites. So the reason I'm sharing this with you, since these are just volunteers, is I wish I had succession planted, and I wish I had planted to have more this fall. And I've been really struggling to figure out where can I have this Tithonia because it grows so tall. And when I saw these volunteers, I thought, I am just going to let them go and see what happens. And so even though I have quite a few flowers flowering, from pentas to porterweed to lantana, and the butterflies do land on all of these flowers, they just absolutely love this Tithonia, or Mexican sunflower. And it's such a vibrant neon orange. I have decided, because of the observations that I have made, that I want this in my garden all the time. Meaning, through late fall if possible. So to achieve that, I have to succession plant, and I did not do that. I just lucked out by having these volunteers in this little bed self-sow from over there, which is fun. So I wanted to share that with you all. I know, for annuals, a lot of times, like zinnias and annuals that are easy to grow. These are certainly easy to grow. A lot of times you don't think of planting to have these plants in the fall. And now, knowing what they do and how prolific they are, I want to make sure that I do have them for the fall. And so to achieve that, I'm going to have to succession plant, whether I plant them outside directly or I start them inside. And I've always been wondering what to do with this dead space. Right now I have grass, throughout here. And what I might do is just have a hedge. And the reason I've been a little bit disappointed is because this fence is 6.5 feet. And right now in November, it casts the shade all the way out into here. It will come out even farther as we get into the winter. But love it because Tithonia grows so large and so tall that they are actually in the sun. So that is not a showstopper over here for me. So I'm actually considering, where can I put a stand of this Tithonia to have, quite frankly, to have a really, really good row or hedge of it. Another thing, a final thing I want to point out is if you do have butterflies. So I had a gorgeous painted lady that looked like it had just eclosed or emerged from its chrysalis. It was vibrant, it was gorgeous, and it came and it was feeding on the pentas. And almost immediately, a green anole popped out, came and ate it, and took it back in. And I thought, oh my gosh, my pentas are low to the ground. And that was actually kind of a danger for that poor painted lady, that gorgeous painted lady butterfly, because I have quite a few anoles in the yard. But interestingly, when you have those long stems and landing pads for the butterflies, it is not as much of an issue. I've noticed that. And so having a taller flower to be able to land on and be much safer just really makes a lot of sense. Ha! I don't know what little bug that's in there going amongst the flowers. Looks like maybe an ant. So in any case, I am really trying to figure out how I can get more Tithonia in my landscape. So I wanted to share that with you because those of you that do garden in the South and to have a really true annual, the seeds are easy to collect. They grow very easily, I think much easier than zinnias. Zinnias for me are more floppy, and they also get the powdery mildew. And so even though I love the zinnia flowers, I have observed the Tithonia to be hardier and to be able to stand up to a little bit more. As far as an annual goes. Okay. Well, thanks for joining me, everyone. If you have any questions, let me know, or any suggestions. Those of you that have grown Tithonia, what are your thoughts in a pollinator and butterfly garden? And when I have talked about Tithonia in one of my monthly garden tours, one of the folks that commented grew a dwarf variety, but weren't as happy with the number of flowers. And that's one thing that I have to say is this particular tall variety just flowers and flowers and flowers. So I'm going to be real curious to see how this does now, November going forward. All right, everybody. Well, I hope you have a great day today, and I hope to see you again.